everybody, my name is Katya, and I am on Trophy Unlocked! Well, I thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about how gaming has really, improved my overall life from a kid until adulthood. I mean, the thing is, like we were just talking about before, is, gaming... People have to understand gaming really does change lives. It saves lives, it improves lives, and... there's a lack of communication when it comes to actually people understanding how well gaming can improve somebody's life. Like you have a kid like me who grew up in an abusive household who played Spyro, and what happened? I learned about courage, I learned about friends, I learned about how to stand up for myself. And I for one realize for all these years to come how many years have passed where people would say things like, oh, gaming makes kids violent, or gaming makes people do stupid things, and it's like, it doesn't. It really improves people's lives overall.
It does.
Yeah, because the problem is I really think people have to understand more is that, you can use gaming in the classroom. It's just like a book. It's telling a story. But what makes me love games is you play, as the character. You control this character. And you don't just, read about them. You actually, control them going through these situations.
Right.
Take God of War, for example.
Oh, I love God of War.
I know. You play as Daddy Kratos, raising a kid. And, Atreus, he becomes, I call him Chicken Nugget. On Miss Cat Squad, I always call him Chicken Nugget. But then when... Yeah.
Playing Limbo.
Yeah.
He was the Chicken Nugget.
Yeah. Every game that I play with kids, I end up calling them chicken nuggets. But the thing is when you're playing as Daddy Kratos, you're raising a kid, and when Atreus freaks out, it's yo, you're spicy chicken nugget now. You're not just a chicken nugget, you're spicy chicken nugget. So it teaches if you're a parent playing this game, you could play this game with your kids and learn so many important lessons. And what I'm always saying too is they need to start bringing games into classrooms. I mean, that's one thing that they need to start doing, because there's so many teachers out there who are no, don't play video games. They're not good for you kids. Go outside, go read a book. It's well, there's different ways of learning. With me, when I was growing up, I'm a visual learner and a visual thinker. I always have to kind of address everything with a color, or I have to play a game to understand certain situations. That's how I learned when I was growing up, by playing video games. And teachers have to start understanding that, kids learn that way. It's video games aren't just press a button anymore and win a game. It's more lessons. Detroit Become Human. Have you played that game?
Oh, yeah.
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 How many important lessons in that? Or Life is Strange. How many important lessons in that? It's crazy how people still, in 2018, they still think video games are bad news. You see these things online, people are posting, it's this weird vibe people get about video games. It's guys, chillax, realize that video games help people's lives and that they're improving people's lives. Me, I didn't know Spyro was coming out, okay? I had no idea it was the Reignited trilogy, and then suddenly it comes out on the day I was having a bad day when the trailer was released, and I'm hysterically crying.
Oh.
And then now I realize that Spyro is going to come and help the next generation of kids. And that's what's really important, is you could find as a kid, especially if you don't have any friends, you could find friends within these video games. You can really discover friends. And that's one thing that Miss Cat Squad does focus on, is just making people realize that these characters are more than just characters, These voice actors, they, capture this character and create them, and these, creators, they build up these characters as the voice actors bring them to life, but, they're more than just that. They change lives. They really change lives. I, for one, love the Uncharted series. I love Nathan Drake. I love Elena Fisher and Sully. I love these characters so much because they feel so real.
Mm-hmm.
And the Last of Us. Ellie, you want to protect her. Even though she could protect herself, you want to protect Ellie.
Yeah, you do, especially with that whole David scene.
Oh, I know.
Sequence,
Oh!
I was in tears. I was
Oh
too
my
much.
god,
Yeah.
listen, that scene, I did not see that coming. When she was having that mental breakdown, I can relate to that so much, because when I was a kid, I would have a ton of fits. And by fits, I would have those, I have a lot of allergies, so when I was young, it would affect my like chemicals in my brain. And all my relatives would think like, ah, there's something wrong with her, blah blah blah. And one day I was having a fit during Thanksgiving, and my mom had to actually hold me and shake me back into reality, just like Joel did with Ellie. So that scene was so powerful to me when I played it on the channel, because I was like, they are actually a studio, a video game studio is actually capturing this, something that I went through when I was young. Like, I didn't go anything like as brutal as she did with David, like, thank God for that, but it's like, just to see her have that meltdown, and even in God of War with Atreus, when he would have those little fits, like, these creators are so, like, I always talk about humanness and heart in gaming. More games need to have this humanness and heart to it, and this humbleness and this heart to it, because like, you don't know how many lives you're saving out there. Like, I've talked to people before, and they've said that, like, The Last of Us has saved their lives so many times. So,
yeah,
like, that...
a lot about Legend of Zelda, too.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Zelda game? What's your favorite one?
Okay, so you're gonna hate me, but, like, I've never been a huge Nintendo fan.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Switch came out, I was like, okay, this seems like something that I could get into.
Yeah,
like, it's portable, it's powerful, you know.
Yeah.
So the only one I've ever played is Breath of the Wild, and I love that game.
Oh, I know. I love that game.
Amazing.
I love that game. My favorite of all time is definitely Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and then Twilight Princess. Like, Wind Waker was my tween years, like, when I was, like, 10 to 12. Like, that was my game. Like, I've actually played that game so many times where I even played, like, if you replay the game, you have you have Link in his pajamas. And you can play that game, like, when he's actually in his pajamas, like, when he first starts out. And then I've played that game. I made up songs with my sister with that game. Like, it is... You have to play that game. Like, I will recommend, if there's any Zelda game, you gotta play not Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker. Like, Breath of the Wild is amazing, but if you want something that's adorable, but also, like, so powerful, play Wind Waker. Like, the art style, people are just like, he's too cute. Oh, they're too chibi looking. And I'm like, okay, well, if you go into the game, you'll realize how powerful and strong the story is.
Right, it's not all, like, sometimes, guys, the art style can kind of, you know, throw off some people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and they have to give it a chance. Like,
exactly.
What game was it? Like, sometimes, like, when I see, like, Smash, and I see 2 different Zeldas, I'm like, I can see why some people are a fan of one version out there.
Yeah.
But, like, how you were talking about earlier with, like, no games in classrooms, everything like that, a lot of that also has to do with the fact that, like, those issues, no one wants to acknowledge. Like, teachers don't get paid enough to do that.
Exactly.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I think it would definitely help a lot of people who are struggling with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, even bringing Breath of the Wild into the classroom, that could teach kids a lot. Or it could teach kids, if they want to be game devs, how to create a video game. Like, there's so many different lesson plans people could create by just using video games, you know? Like, if it was just, like, in the first 6 months of a class, it could be, like, focusing on, like, the first few episodes of Life is Strange. Like, obviously, Life is Strange would only be able to be played in high schools and, like, colleges, because some of the topics it discusses. Have you finished all the games?
Not all of them, but...
Have you finished the first one?
I think so.
Okay.
That was a while ago.
Oh, yeah. So, like, with Mr. Jefferson...
Yes.
That's, no. Like, you don't want kids playing that game, like, by themselves, because some of the things that go on in that game, it's like, no.
So they're gonna be looking down the hallway, like, just like...
Oh, I know. No, we're not, like, trusting any of their teachers.
No, not at all.
But yeah, the thing is, like, even bringing any type of game, like, you can even bring, like, Pac-Man into a classroom, and people can learn from that, you know, like...
Solving skills.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, like, another thing that goes on is, when we were talking about earlier, it's like, it doesn't matter if, like, let's say there's a kid playing GTA. Well, obviously that kid should be, like, you know, having parental vision with them, like, you know, have guidance with you. Or it could be, like, like, when I was growing up, I was a very mature kid. So, like, I knew about, like, everything when I was young. But when people are like, oh, this kid shouldn't play this because it's gonna give them and make them violent, it's like, that's not necessarily true. Because it's like, these games also have a lot of morals to them. It's not just, you know, shoot and kill, shoot and kill. It's like, they have these morals to them.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, like Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. And, like, there's so many, like, lessons within these games, you know?
Yeah. I've learned. Okay, so the first game that really got me into like kind of like aware of how much of an impact gaming can have on people
Mm-hmm.
was Uncharted 2. That was the first
Mm-hmm.
time I looked at it. I was like,
Yeah.
I looked at gaming and I was like, this is a whole
Oh
universe
yeah.
that I want to like get into.
Yep.
Which was like the background
Mm-hmm.
information and everything. Um, but like Spider-Man on PS4,
Oh
like
my god, I know.
patience and just like
I know.
learning how to admit your mistakes and
Yep.
just that
That ending.
yeah, that did also
Oh
hurt
man,
me.
that ending. You
That
don't
hurt
do
me.
that. Like, I don't want to give out spoilers here, like, if anybody hasn't finished it, but it's like, that ending.
If I haven't finished it by now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Because the thing
it's
is, this is my critique on it. Like, I've talked about this before, where it's like, I loved, like, overall Spider-Man PS4, it was brilliant. Like, when you talk about it teaches you patience, it talks about, like, admitting defeat, and, like, so many other more, like, morals and lessons. But the thing is, at the end, it went from extremely sad and ripping and stepping on your heart to happy ending. So it's
yeah,
like, that transition, I think, like, if they wanted to, in my opinion, it should have been, like, towards, like, not the end, they should have done that.
yeah,
Because no, what made me upset is like how Peter, it's like that voice acting right there. When he was hysterically crying, I was like,
yeah,
yo, this is so human. This
yeah,
is so human. And that's why I think more video games should focus on the human side of reality.
mm-hmm.
Because like I always tell people too, is like video games are movies and they're books and they're everything put together, but they're a team building this.
Yeah,
Like with movies and books, you have like a few people doing this, few people doing that. But with video games, it's like you got the cinematography, you got the writers, you got the producers, the directors, the voice actors. It's like thousands of people at a time.
yeah. And it's
Thousands
like
of
it's all
people.
personal too. It's
Yeah.
all your personal experience.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing too. You feel the heart of it. Like when I was playing Detroit Become Human, I felt the heart of it. Like what Quantic Dream brought to the table. I felt the heart. You know, it's like even Beyond Two Souls. That have you played that game?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Rip my heart out. There's so much the humanness behind it. You feel like you're there with that character. But what
Yeah,
makes me love video games is again, you control these characters. Like
mm-hmm.
you're using your abilities to like press buttons and it's not just like, "Oh, hey, I'm just moving this stick around to control them." It's more like at any given moment this character can die if I do something
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. And that's not stressful enough. Like,
Detroit Become Human.
yeah,
The stress
I had
levels.
some issues with that though, because like with Connor, like I
Mm.
messed up a lot with Connor. He was the hardest person to play as.
I
He kept coming
know.
back. I was just like, okay, I don't really feel like this that
Oh
much.
my, I had to restart at one point because I'm like, I am not killing my son.
Oh
Because
my
that's what I do.
gosh.
That I literally consider video game characters, like, I adopt them. Like, on Miss Cat Squad, I'm like, I will not let my children die. So, like, any type of, like, choice-based games, I have this rule for myself. Where it's like, you have 3 chances. It's like 3 strikes, you are out. If you kill this character any more than 3 times, you have to continue playing the game like that. Because the thing is, it makes me, when I see, like, that, like, with Connor, he could die so there's a trophy that you can get if you kill Connor how many times. Like, you can get a
I feel like I should
trophy.
know this. I didn't know that.
There's a trophy! Like, you can kill him all the times and be like, yeah, woo, Connor's death trophy or whatever. I'm like, oh my god!
Horrible.
Oh my, but that's the thing, it's like, with, like, when people give out trophies, and since, like, like, your name is Trophy here, it's like, when people give out trophies for video games, some of the things are so ridiculously funny. Like Uncharted 2. You could swim in a swimming pool and get a trophy. Like, what the heck?
I
It's,
love that one.
I know. And he's like, woo, Marco Polo.
She's like,
I know.
seriously?
Seriously, like. But yeah, like, I have not played Uncharted 4 yet. I haven't finished Uncharted 3, but I've loved, yeah, I haven't. It's been on the channel. I have to bring that back to the channel, but I finished Uncharted 2, and people are saying that Uncharted 2 is the best in the series. What do you think about that?
I think it changed the most from its predecessor. Like, I think Uncharted 1 was really good,
Yeah.
but Uncharted 2 just
Blew everyone
like
away, basically.
leaps and bounds better
Yeah.
than the first one. I
Yeah.
think Uncharted 4 has a much more grounded story, but I don't feel like his brother is like justified
Yeah.
as a character, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think like the whole series is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's what got me so so addicted, really addicted.
Did you see the fan film with
Yes,
Nathan?
Nathan
Oh
Fillion.
my god.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like, if they ever make a movie,
I
he needs to
know.
be.
Oh, he needs to be. Like, and on Twitter, like, Nolan North, he's like, there's a bunch of people, like, fighting over who wants to be Nathan Drake. He's like, shut up, you're both beautiful.
Right. Yeah. Either way.
Oh, yeah. And I, for one, think Nolan North should have, if they ever do make a film, he should have some kind of involvement. Because, he is Nathan Drake. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you thought, so I know you do, like, voiceovers for, like, for children's books. Have you thought about doing that for video games?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm, like, aspiring to do that because ever since I saw, like, Nolan North's performance, like, with Uncharted, I was like, oh my god, he inspired me so much. But the thing is, too, is, like, when I was young, I didn't realize, like, with voice acting, that was my, like, escape. Like, I went through a lot when I was young, from being bullied by relatives and also being abused, like, by my dad at home. I would play, like, Spyro the Dragon and everything, and it would, like, change my whole entire life, and I would do the characters' voices all the time. So I didn't realize, like, this is, like, the truth here. I did not realize that you can actually get into voice acting. Like, no joke. Like, I was like, I can make this a career? Like, what? Like, I've done voiceovers before, but it's, like, a narration and this and that. But, like, when I realized that you can do voice acting for a living, I was like, wait, that's a career? So, like, ever since then, I've been, like, aspiring to get into video game voice acting. Because, like, I've been able to do, like, imp voices. Like, one of my goals, okay, like, this is no joke, too. One of my goals is probably to be, like, doing an imp voice. Like, I would love to do an imp voice.
An imp voice?
Yeah. Because,
well,
like, or like, yeah, like my, let's say my best imp voice. Let's try it. Like, hello, I'm going to destroy you now. Like, I want to do like those like creature voices, like clickers and this and that, because it's bloaters, like things like that too. Because like, and like another goal would be like maybe the annoying sidekick that people just want to shut up. Or one of the main characters, like a badass female character or something, because I realize that voice acting has become such, like, a mainstream thing now. Like, Critical Role with, like, Dungeons and Dragons and this and that, it's become so mainstream when it comes to voice acting, because, like, all these voice actors are bringing this to the table saying, hey, you could do this for a career. Another dream role would be something from Overwatch.
Oh yeah, you've been doing a lot of things.
Oh my god! Overwatch is so, like, I'm new to the fandom, and I have to actually get into playing the game, because I'm actually planning on doing a bunch of streams on Miscat Squad with Overwatch. But seeing the shorts, like, even like the mini little, hey, the origin stories, this team, Blizzard Entertainment, by far can, like, verse up against Pixar animation.
Yeah,
like,
because they put so much production value
it's
into
amazing. It. Like, I don't know how they don't have a Netflix series already. Like, I don't know how that's, like, the Netflix series and also, like, or a movie. Something. Like, even if it's, like, a Netflix series where it's 2D animation, but, oh my god. Like, they have so much potential. And I have to, I'm also gonna be doing a lot of comic reviews, because they have comics, too. So there's gonna be that on Miss Caswell, but I want to just do the whole package of Overwatch because I'm such a huge fan now. It's like taking over my life. Because it's no joke. It's one of, like, people are saying, like, when you do streams of it, just be careful of, like, the toxic community for the multiplayer. Yeah. But other than that, like, when you see, like, the fan art and the fan fiction and this, like, dude, it is so positive. And that's the type of, like, communities I love. Like, the Life is Strange community is so positive. Like, certain, like, communities are so positive, and what they do to support these games is amazing. Yeah. But, like, if I could do, like I made a joke, like, I'm on an upcoming episode, I'm like, my Overwatch character would probably be, like, somebody who wears, like, a pizza cape and, like, throws pizza at people. And, like, in New York City or something.
Yeah.
Cause that's what I said, like, and even on Twitter, I was, like, hinting at this. I was like, pizza delivery girl. I would deliver pizza to, like, superheroes and try to fit in or something.
Just trying to fit in, yeah.
Be like, just like that pizza delivery girl, like, hey guys, hey, like the annoying person that people just slam the doors on. But it's like, hey, if you want your pizza, you better open your doors to me, like. But yeah, like voice acting, it was my coping mechanism. Like when I was young, like I've been doing lots of like role play and this and that, and it helped me. Like people don't understand, like especially with kids in like the abusive households, video games and also voice acting and role play, it helps you because it helps you have that escape. Like when you don't have that escape for yourself, you kind of feel like you're in a cage and you can't get out. So and like when you have all these problems, nowadays kids are so lucky because like video games are more acceptable now. Like there's still a lot of work that we have to do to make video games 100% like acceptable, but they're more so acceptable now for kids to understand that, hey, this kid's going through this problem. That's like me. Like, oh my god, did you ever play I Hope? The game I Hope?
No.
It's about defeating cancer.
Huh.
It is so emotionally, like, for his name is Kenny Roy. Like he literally put his efforts to create this game to raise money for kids with cancer, and the game is about cancer to help kids understand that you're not alone and you have to be strong. It is
because it's not mainstream. Like
oh no,
no one knows about it.
That's the thing, and I want to be able to support this game so much because it's not a AAA game. So if more AAA games became like, hey, our focus is gonna be like cancer or something, like there's an anime movie coming out that's just about cancer. Like it's so good to see that these people are getting representation now, because when you're going through a sickness, like you want to realize that you can, like, you're not alone out there. And it's like more people need this. Like with The Last of Us, a lot of people have left comments where they have a sickness and how they take the infected, like how they take that as an example of being sick.
Yeah.
Like with the clickers and everything. And that's why it saved so many people's lives, because they weren't like, Naughty Dog was not afraid to say, hey, we're going to bring this infected here. We're going to talk about like heavy subjects. Like, come on, first 10 minutes, what happens?
Yeah, that was,
Joel's daughter dies! Like, no!
If that didn't set the tone for the game,
yo, but I'm afraid for Last of Us 2.
Yeah,
like,
I have very level expectations for that. I'm just like, it's probably not going to be as good as the first one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that's what I'm hearing. People are saying it's not going to be as good because, like, The Last of Us broke so many, like, world-breaking records. It started a whole new storyline for story games and, like, survival games. It is, like, the survival game other than The Walking Dead, but, like, I don't know, because that's the thing. Like, I'm just afraid if... there's theories, and this is pure theories here, that people thinking that either Joel's gonna be dead, or Joel's gonna be evil, or something's gonna happen to Joel. And I'm like, you don't hurt Papa Joel.
No, like, that's something that I'm very surprised they haven't even shown in Joel.
Yeah,
at all.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Gives me so much anxiety, because first of all, I love to see, like, upgraded or updated character models, like animations.
Yeah.
Ellie, we saw her a lot.
Yeah.
But we still haven't seen Joel.
That's what worries me.
How old is he?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, we know Troy Baker has involvement, but how long of an involvement? Like, even, I know, and even like the behind the scenes pics, you see lots of like all the other voice actors, but you don't see much of Troy, and it's like, I don't know. Unless they're doing, like, a huge reveal because they know it's gonna get people hyped up to see where Papa Joel is. I don't know. But the thing is, too, is, like, what I'm worried about is if either they're gonna kill him off, or they're gonna, like, there's theories that people are gonna make him evil, and, like, Ellie's gonna have to kill him.
Ugh.
No.
No.
That won't be canon in my mind.
Yeah, no, I just stop the game right before that happens. Like, okay, let's do it, done.
Because there's so many, like, if you watch some of these theory videos, it's like, yo.
I steer clear of those.
Yeah.
Like, those give me, like...
I know! Because half of them say he's dead. And I'm like, because, like, the first trailer that we got, okay, it was with Joel walking into the sunlight, you know? Like, is that people are saying, oh, that's just the figment of Ellie's imagination that she's talking to Joel. And it's like, no, he could really be there.
No, I'm just like, wait,
I know.
maybe?
I know, but because the theories make sense, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, no. Don't, he's been through too much, at least give him a happy ending.
Yeah.
But that's what worries me too, because they said the first series was about love. The second is about hatred. So, I don't. Do you have any theories on this at all?
No, I haven't been thinking about that game recently. I mean, it's always in the back of my mind, but like currently, I'm just worried about the games that are coming out like the next like month or two.
Yeah.
Like, those are just like okay, like actually like between Last of Us and Cyberpunk, they're just like both always rattling around.
Oh yeah, like when I for one, I'm thinking it's gonna be like late 2019, early 2019, or maybe 2020. Like, what do you think when The Last of Us gonna release? Like,
I mean, do you know who's kind of funny is, right?
Yeah.
So way back before Colin left and everything, I remember they were having a discussion about when that would come out. And Colin was so adamant.
Yeah.
Y'all think it's coming out in 2018? You're nuts. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
2019, I even think 2019 is pushing it. Like.
Yeah.
Like, typically with Naughty Dog, they release their games in the first half, the first like quarter, maybe the first half of the year. And if that doesn't happen, it's probably gonna be 2020.
Oh yeah.
Same thing with Cyberpunk. That's not coming out till at least 2020.
Oh yeah, because this is what I like about games. It's like, how many years was Red Dead Redemption 2 like delayed? Yeah. Even Spyro was delayed. So it's like, I have no problem with games being delayed if that means we're going to get a better game. Because I'd rather have a great experience with that game rather than just be like, yo, hey, there's a mistake there, there's a glitch there.
The only exception to that was No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was delayed so many times.
Really?
And I was just like, by the time it finally came out, I was so excited.
Yeah.
Played for like 13 hours and was like, yeah, this is garbage. I was so upset.
Because how many years was it delayed for, though?
So it was announced around the time the PlayStation 4 was announced, like 2012, 2013. But it was announced then, and it eventually came out in 2016. But just like the miscommunication from Sean Murray, the creative director, and there was so much hype to it. Like, he was on Jimmy Fallon, he was on
oh my god
night shows. Like, everyone was so excited.
Yeah,
when it came out, and we were just like, it leaves much to be desired, you know.
That's the thing. It's like, you don't want to delay something too much, but then be like, we're gonna keep all these promises, and what's gonna be hype, and this and that, and then once it comes out, it's like, oh, we waited that long.
That experience has taught me how to keep a level head and level expectations for games.
Oh yeah, because it's like, when people have so many different delays, it's like, okay, they're working on something great. Like, people are like attacking Toys for Bob for Spyro. Because they're like, oh my god, like, it's been delayed, and it was delayed like a few months. It was supposed to come out in September, and people are freaking out, and they're also freaking out about the disc size. And I'm like, guys, we're lucky we're actually getting this, and we know. And the thing is about Toys for Bob is they're showing us things. Like, they're showing us behind the scenes. They're showing us what they're working on, and they want to take everyone's advice as the fans. But like, when people attack them and send threatening notes, it's like, people, do you really, even I get this on YouTube when people are like, oh, when is this game coming back? When is that game coming back? And I'm like, it's going to be on a delay for now, and then we're going to bring it back when we have, like, more funds for this and that, or a better setup. And people still get mad. So it's understandable, like, when people are fans of something, and that's, like, a good compliment, but always, like, it's about impatience, you know? You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient with things. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm a very impatient person. But, like, I have respect for game studios, because it's like, if I'm getting it on YouTube videos, and people are like, when is Uncharted coming back, or The Walking Dead, then I can only imagine what, like, people like Santa Monica Studios with God of War has been going through. Like, when's the next God of War coming out? When's this happening? Like,
literally days after release.
It's like,
you have, Corey Barlog follows you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He is such an awesome guy. Like, he is, like, he helped, like, this is no joke. He helped the, Telltale Games, when that went under, the employees get jobs.
Yep.
And it's like, he knows how this like community is, like how I like, and he has like shares the same beliefs that I do, that you got to give back to the community. Like you got to help in order to succeed. You got to give. Like you can't just say like, oh, I'm gonna take everything for myself. It's like there's like so many different types of cultures that like gamer girl culture is so toxic. It is so toxic because they're all about just winning for themselves and gaining for themselves, and it's like that's not how it works.
No.
It's like you won't gain success if you just like worry about yourself. You gotta reach out to people, collab with people. Like when, like what I did with you, like I see potential in like your whole website and everything, and I want to be like, wow, this is great. Let's work together on this. It's like nothing is, you can't do everything alone.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that Cory Barlog actually teaches the gaming like sphere everywhere, because he's all like saying like, okay, I'm gonna help these people out, and he even helps other studios. Like even when people were like sharing him like things about like with Spider-Man, when it was winning awards, he like retweeted them and was like, congratulations, this is so awesome. Like when people were like Spider-Man sold out quicker than God of War, he was like, oh, congratulations.
Right.
Like he's supportive and positive, because if you're negative and jealous, it's not gonna get you anywhere.
Right. People are gonna see that and be like,
oh yeah,
that's not a good mindset to have. But yeah, that's something like I used to really look up to, like Neil Druckmann and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a really good creative director as well.
Yeah.
But after God of War, because when God of War came out, like I would say a day or two before it came out, I had zero information about that game. I was like, oh, it's just another God of War game. And I was like, I'll buy this game. And at launch at midnight, I started playing it, and I was just like, holy crap.
I know.
So I started looking more into it, and went to Cory Barlog.
Yep.
And, like, just, that's the kind of, like, representation, like, that's the kind of, like, temperament that needs to be the community. And it's just not.
It's not. It's not at all. And, like, he knows it, too, because he literally tries to influence people to do it. And it's, like, what people have to realize, it's, like, there's and especially this happens in the indie game community. People are creating these games and they want to attack each other because it's like, oh, like you're stealing this from me, or you stole that skin from me, or that mod from me. It's like, okay, why don't you guys just work together? You know, keep things secret, but don't steal from each other, but like work together. Like don't attack each other or put blame on people. So it's like, it's something that needs to definitely be worked on. He is that like champion for that. Like Cory Barlog is by far the champion of showing people that you gotta support each other in this community. Because if you don't, then like literally no one's gonna move forward. Number one, it's gonna be wasted drama. There's gonna be drama everywhere. And number three, it's like nothing ever is gonna get done at all. Like with a game, like people, if you get a bad reputation as a person, then your game's gonna have a bad reputation because no one's gonna want to support your work.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like,
that makes sense.
And that's the thing. Like, I always say like, don't just give thanks to one person. It's like give thanks to the whole team that are creating these games, because even when you like meet up with somebody at Comic-Con or one of these gaming conventions, it's like go up to them and say thank you. You know, they put their blood, sweat, and tears and soul into this game. Like what you were talking about, personal experiences. Like with Telltale Games, it was a shame that they shut down because these people, to build up to like live with Clementine for all these years, to see how she grew up, it's like, it's a shame that Telltale went under. But like these people, if people ever see them at conventions, just go up to them and be like, thank you. You know, you brought this character to life.
Absolutely. Like especially like they're the like if there's anybody out in the gaming community, any developer that needs that, it's those people, especially after everything that they've been through over the last couple months.
Oh, definitely.
That was horrible. Like
horrible. Their families. Like I'm like, that is not fair. And this is the problem. It's bad management. When you don't have people, when you have the two types of people, it's like you either have the manager person who's all like way too strict and expecting people to like work for nothing, or you have the person who's just all like, it's a playground, do whatever you want. It's like you have to have that happy medium, because if you don't, then it's like this is what's gonna happen. You know, and the other thing, they were working on way too many projects at a time. Way too many projects, because the problem with this was they were doing Stranger Things game. They were working Wolf Among Us 2. They were working on The Walking Dead Season 4, and then the Netflix series for Minecraft. And I'm like, work on one thing at a time.
Right. Or like, I mean, that's the kind of workload for multiple different studios.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just one studio. Like,
yeah.
Ubisoft has Montreal. We have, like EA has different studios. Like, they're literally trying to do all. I think, granted, like the art style and the animation is like much simpler than AAA titles.
Yeah.
But still, it's still.
You got to work on at least 1 to 2 projects at a time.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's with everything though. Like you can't like have like okay, half my team is gonna be working on this while they're gonna be working on 4 other projects. It's like it just doesn't happen that way. So like this is a lesson for everybody in the gaming community. It's like if you have a studio, you don't just work on 5 million games at a time. Like Naughty Dog, how long have they been working on The Last of Us 2? They don't release, like, any other games.
Yeah.
They support their original titles and go from there. Same with Santa Monica Studios. They're God of War. Like, their subtitle is, like, we're God of War. So it's like, they're working on making 5 more God of War games, which is really exciting. Very exciting, because I want to see Atreus grow up, but I'm also afraid.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's Loki.
You saw, like, the wall art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so
oh god.
She was right so far.
Yeah.
I mean...
And then, what I love about that, too, is with the direction, like, it was with the filming and everything was like, 1 camera, 1 shot, boom, there we go, everything's done. But it's like, that when the camera was, like, zooming onto the wall, the music changes when you see the last panel of it, and you're like, oh no, that's not good for Kratos!
No, it's not, yeah.
But, like, with him being Loki, I don't know. Like like chicken nugget. Come on, you're gonna be spicy chicken nugget. Like
he's gonna be a super spicy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the spicy sandwich from Wendy's. Like,
so,
like no doubt about that.
Have you read? You know who Neil Gaiman is?
Yes.
Did you read his Norse mythology book?
Which one?
He just has one book that like it tells different like short-ish stories.
It's not Sandman, is it?
No, it's just called Norse mythology.
No, I haven't read it.
Basically, like, it goes through different, like, short stories of Norse mythology, like, basically the stories that, people around that time who looked up to these gods, like, it taught them how to, like, basically be human.
Yeah.
Through their mistakes. And a lot of it, like, the continuity between God of War, there are some, like, liberties taken and everything, just to, you know, make the story more cohesive.
Yeah.
But you can kind of tell which direction it's going to go.
Oh, no.
Just after I read that, I was like, this is
oh, no.
Interesting.
And the thing is, too, is when Atreus gets older, it's going to be, like, even more dark. Because it's, like, even, like, with Ellie from The Last of Us, now that she's older, there's going to be even more darkness added to it.
Yeah.
And Clementine, too, with The Walking Dead. It just got darker and darker. So, I'm afraid.
That seems to be a theme. It's like you get like, lighthearted first game, and...
Well, no, take Harry Potter. Harry Potter, for example. Like, the books, it's in the movies, it's like, it started out, it was dark all around. Like, one of the themes is death for Harry Potter. And then towards the end of the series, look how even darker it got. So, it's like, when you have that kid... Like, either it's, like, a companion, like how Ellie was to Joel, or Atreus, or Clementine, and then they grow up, it's gonna be, like, really, it's gonna get darker for them, and that's why it hurts me, because as somebody who adopts fictional characters, I'm gonna be like, this is not fun. I don't want to see them go through this.
Right,
like, that's...
Like, you have a certain amount of control of, like, how their story goes. Like, you literally just can't stop them from doing that. Like, that's the hard part. That's the,
like, even with, Detroit Become Human, like, if you could take care of Alice or you can't, and, like, she can die. And it's like, thank God I got a happy ending with that, because if I didn't, that would have been bad.
Which ending did you get?
The good ending. The really good ending.
All of them survived?
Yep.
Yeah, I had to sacrifice Kara. I had to sacrifice myself.
Oh my god. Not Mama Kara.
All because it literally happened because I accidentally moved like an inch to the right. When,
see,
like,
that's the thing though. Like, if you accidentally do something, you could restart. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I can't. I gotta commit.
You gotta commit to it.
I have to commit.
It's no, but that's the thing with video games. Like, one thing can, especially choice-based games, it's like one thing can go wrong. Like Life is Strange with Kate Marsh. You don't got your rewind powers, okay, Max? You don't got that. Like, anything can happen, and there's two choices: either she lives or she dies, and it's like, great. Like that's when the game got like, yo, this is real. Like, this is so real, because it's like you just witnessed a suicide.
Yeah.
And it's like when the game devs for them to add that, it's so powerful, because again, when I'm talking about humanness and heart to video games, how human is that? Max lost her powers and either could help or not help Kate Marsh.
Yeah.
So
the epitome of humanism.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. Like with AAA games, I think they're improving upon like adding more humanness to it. I mean, especially with God of War, since we were talking about God of War, it's like, yeah, it's Norse mythology. Yeah, this and that is going on, but there's still that humanness to it.
Right.
It's still Kratos trying to raise a kid. And did you hear this? Cory Barlog actually wanted to give Kratos a dad gut, like a beer belly.
Oh god.
But then it wouldn't work. I know.
To like put armor on that.
I know.
Like just do something
It's
really
like,
nice.
as it's like hanging out. Oh my gosh. No, because that's what I love about game devs, because it's like when you see like the art behind it, like the concept art, like you're like, wow, anything could have changed. Wow, this is so cool, because they could have looked like that. Like for Detroit Become Human, I have the art book, and it's like some of their designs, it's like, wow, they could have went for that way, but they didn't. So it's amazing to see how much it's improved. Like, where it's like video games used to just be like, okay, here we go, here's that character, boom, done. But now it's taken more seriously. It's an art.
Yeah, it is. And like one of the things that kind of really got my attention when Spider-Man was being developed and everything, Brian Intihar was talking a lot about how Sony there's just almost an overabundance of just creative freedom. Like they can just make decisions, and like the question that Sony will ask in return is like, does it make the game better?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Okay, then do it.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of creative freedom that especially Microsoft needs right now.
Oh yeah.
Like
big time.
I could go on a rant about it. Again, like I don't hate Microsoft. I don't hate Xbox. I just think that it's just frustrating that their fan base isn't getting more.
Oh, I know. But I think it's because of that. It's because of the creative decisions that are made. It's like Sony makes you feel like you're part of a family. They invite you in. Like they have these behind the scenes. They do this and that. But Microsoft does it. It's like they want to keep everything to themselves in a way.
Yeah. Right. It's going back to what you said earlier about, if you can give people what did you say earlier? Something along the lines of, giving back.
Yeah, you gotta give back to the exactly, and that's what fans want. Like again, Toys for Bob. What are they doing? They're inviting the fans in to actually create the Spyro game. Like they're having people like literally give them advice. The fans, like that's what's good.
I wrote an article again about like the list of what was it? Like the list of PS1 games that should have been like remastered or like remade. And one of the last items I put was like, what if you put all these remasters into like classic jam pack demo discs that they had? Remember the jam packs?
Yeah.
Imagine like a bundle with all like the remasters of classic PS1 games.
That would be cool.
Just in that aesthetic, that'd be so.
Yeah, that would
awesome.
be so. But the thing is, how big would the disc space be?
Correct.
Unless like you had to actually not have it on the disc, you had to do it as a download or something.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, awesome.
That would be so. I know, like, that's what it should be called, like a nostalgia trip or something.
Exactly.
But yeah, like even like with the voice acting community, like they are so like the voice acting community, they're everyone there is so nice and supportive to each other. It's crazy because they know how it is. It's like if you play as a character and then your character gets killed off, it's like, okay, I'm loss of a job now.
Right.
But like you get it and that's what I was telling people too. It's like it's not just about the job, it's about actually becoming the character. Like for me, I would never audition for a character that I don't feel is me. You know, like I would only go for certain things where like if I wanted to be a certain character, even if it was like a mini type of role, if I feel like I can portray that character and serve that character justice, I would go for that character.
Yeah.
But there's so many people out there who want to just like, oh, I want to be famous off of this and make money off of this and be the main role. It's like, it's more than that. Voice acting is becoming somebody else. You know, you want to respect the creators. Like, a creator has a story to tell. And just like with Dungeons and Dragons, it's like everybody has a story to tell. And then these people want to become the characters so they can have that story be told. So it's like, same thing with video games. There's a story, and then you have the actors portraying these characters. So even if it's like a tiny, tiny little role, people should respect that role, you know? Like, play your part, you know? And that's like, even with game devs too, it's like, there's so much with the toxicness with people competing with each other. There's so much competition within the gaming sphere. It's like, people have to calm down and work together. It's like don't rip each other's throats out just because somebody may have a bigger role than you or maybe doing something bigger than you. It's like instead of that, give back. Say congratulations. Exactly. Exactly. Because that's what gaming should be all about. Like people create these games for years for us. We as the fans want to support this game as much as possible, but also within our communities, give back. Because if you don't, then like you're not gonna get anywhere. Like that's the hard truth, and it's not even a hard truth because you should want to give back. You should want to support others.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, that basically, that's a good explanation and good basically synopsis of the overall theme of this conversation.
Yep.
Just giving back and just being positive.
Yep, and that's the thing, spreading positivity. Like that's what Miscat Squad is all about, just spreading positivity because there's so much even in like random fandoms, people are saying, "Oh, you're too old, you're too young, you can't enjoy this anymore. You shouldn't be able to enjoy this." It's like, you know what? These games and these like comics and geek culture overall is for everybody. You know, it's a door that's open for everybody. And like with Comic-Con, we as the people who used to be like the underdogs and the misfits, and that's what Misfit Squad's all about. It's like giving back to the misfits. Like I create for the misfits of the world because there's misfits in every single fandom. The people who feel left out. The people who feel like, wow, this person's making fun of me because I'm too old for this series. Or, oh wow, I'm too young to enjoy this series and people are mocking me for it. It's like, no. Everybody deserves a place within this community because it's for everybody. And instead of joining little cliques and cliches and this and that, it's instead of making it high school, make it a place where everybody can have fun. Make it a place where everyone can be themselves. And that's what I want to really give back to the community because I want to keep giving reminders that, hey, like, there's still misfits out there, and it's like it's weird to think about because the geek culture and nerdom and everything used to be like shunned and looked down upon, and now instead of people realizing that and remembering the past, especially with gaming, it's like you guys should respect each other. Like, you shouldn't be like, hey, you know, you can't enjoy this because this game is for kids, or oh, this game is for adults. It's like, you know, no, give back.
The game experience for like say like a 35-year-old is playing Minecraft or whatever. It's all about the context of their life, their upbringing, their experiences.
Exactly.
And they don't, even if like they might not be comfortable sharing that experience.
Exactly.
They still respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like it makes me upset to see it still going on because it's like we all used to within the gaming community and everything. We all used to support each other because everyone was against us.
Right.
But now everyone is starting to go against each other within communities, and it's like, do you realize how long it took, like, our generation to actually make that possible? You know, how long it took for all of us to make it mainstream, to make these awards happen, to make people want to become voice actors and want to become game devs. Like, it's more so, like, even with Fortnite, you, like, see hey, get scholarships, kids, to get on a Fortnite team. And it's like, it's crazy how far it's come, but nobody should attack each other anymore. And that's like one of the biggest messages that Miscat Squad does serve, because it's like we're all about positivity and we're all about just saying, guys, we're all misfits here, okay? So why don't we just create things and spread the positivity together instead of attacking each other?
Exactly.
So yeah, and that's what I like about your like Trophy Unlock too, because it's like you are all about spreading the positivity and also allowing others to tell their stories. You know, giving them that outlet to really just say, "Hey, this is personable."
Right.
Yeah.
But trust me, though, if there's anybody that even tries to cross me, I will make sure that I set them in line. Like, that's something. Sometimes what happens is like I've seen like they'll let people walk over them.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to like spread positivity.
Yeah.
But like if someone's attacking you,
oh yeah,
I think you're entitled to.
Oh yeah.
Make them look like an idiot.
Oh yeah, big time, because it's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, of course. But like the thing is like if people are literally attacking you for like, oh my god, you didn't do this right in the game, or oh my god, what's wrong with you? You play a game on easy. It's like, don't mock people, you know? It's like not everybody is gonna be a master at playing a certain game right away. You know, it takes practice and dedication. So
yeah, I can't tell you how many times trying to play Spider-Man that I was just like, how do I swing?
See, that's the thing with me. I got web swinging right away. It was the certain combat that got to me, but web swinging is so addicting. It's so therapeutic. I'm like, yo.
That's what's weird. It's like I've had more like hours put into Spider-Man than I did with Red Dead 2. Like Red Dead 2 is fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it gets lonely after a while. I understand that's like the whole
and that's the theme. That's the theme, though. Like I've heard a lot of people saying that the theme of like I totally agree with you with that, because it's like you feel lonely, and like what I got mad at is you can't run at certain points, and I'm like, yo, you can't run. I know. I'm like, come on, let me run. But yeah, that's why I love Spider-Man, because it's like because when I think of an open world game, I think of. You can, like, GTA 5, like, that was perfect. GTA 5, in my opinion, is perfect, but, like, with Spider-Man, you can web swing, you can walk around, you can, like, take pictures with your fans as being Spider-Man.
Oh my god, solo mode is
I know. Oh my god. Like, I think that might be the best photo mode, to be honest.
Especially after they added the puddles.
The puddles. Oh my, I know. Come on, people. It's a puddle.
You're right. Literally right.
Oh my god. But that's the thing, though. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, instead of complaining and literally attacking the game devs for stupid, tiny little things, why don't you be patient, people, and be like, okay, I understand this needs to be fixed, or okay, this can be improved. Give, what is that called? Constructive criticism, instead of blatant, like, I hate you people now because of a puddle. Like, come on. Because I think the other problem is envy. Like, people want a game to fail because they're envious of it. So, but a game that I'm looking forward to is if Insomniac sticks to making more, like, superhero. Because I know they're going to be doing Spider-Man 2, which I'm excited for, because my theory is it's probably going to focus on Miles, which is, because the way it ended, the way and then, like, the ending, like, with Venom and everything, I was like, okay. Okay. So either Spider-Man 2 is going to focus more on, like, Peter and Venom and then have, like, more characters to it, or it's going to be, like, probably Miles. Because the way it ended when Miles showed off to Peter, like, hey, look what I could do.
Right.
So, but, yeah, like, I'm just excited if they make an Iron Man game. Because Iron Man is my favorite superhero. Like, if they stick to the trope of doing superhero games, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, like, I think the intent is to have, like, a whole, like, an MCU kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like video games.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how amazing that would
I know.
be? Like,
I know, because
that it kind of, like, would probably, rock the boat a little bit is that if they are consistently PlayStation exclusives, that's gonna just destroy Microsoft if that happens.
Big time. Like, and that's the thing, like, I feel like if Microsoft doesn't step it up and do certain things, Sony's gonna, like, just rip them to shreds, because it's like if Marvel's gonna keep partnering with them and making like a Thor game or the Hulk game, or like they could do so much, like Black Panther game.
Black Panther game, oh my god. Imagine like a Black Panther game mixed with like the style of like Tomb Raider.
Oh my god.
Crazy awesome.
Because that's the thing, like they have their foot in the door. They saw the success with Spider-Man. They could do anything now if they wanted to. Like make that a series. Like I'm like, come on, Iron Man, like, or Captain America, or even like going within all the comics and just like an Avengers game. Like, come on.
Where's that?
I know.
Square Enix announced that like 3 years
I know.
ago. I still know.
I know.
So annoying.
Yeah. Come on. Because that's the thing. It's like when you announce it, you gotta follow up on it. That's my critique on that. It's like when you announce something, you gotta follow up on it. Because if you don't, it's like people are gonna be like, where is this?
Yes, I agree with that. Because when Cyberpunk was announced 6 years ago, they just had like a reveal trailer, a short reveal trailer, 6 years of complete silence. But then after that 6 years, they just threw 48 minutes of just gameplay, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, I want this now.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is like either you be silent, but like kind of have like a social media presence about it, but then be silent and then just reveal something so epic that people are gonna be like, I want this now, to get them hyped up for it. Because there's like two forms of getting people hyped up. There's giving them teasers here and there about certain things, or there is the actual, like, we're gonna go silent, and then years later give you, like, a whole hour of something. So, yeah. But overall, I'm thinking that, like, my advice to everybody is just stay positive about things. Like, don't be negative, don't be whiny, don't be like, because it's like that's not what the game devs want. That's not gonna make them work harder. What's gonna make them work harder is seeing people support. You know, spreading the love for like these game devs is so important. And like whenever I'm gonna go to a convention, if I like ever meet up with like game devs and everybody, I'll be like, hey, give me a fist bump here. You guys did a great job on this game, because that'll make them work harder to create other games. You know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what they do it for. They do it for. That's the thing about like gaming, like developers. They do it. For a fan.
And that's the thing too. They're the fan. They're fans of their own work. They're gamers. They understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean that's basically my overall my goal for Miscast Squad 2 is just making people realize that, hey, if you're a misfit within this community, if you're being made fun of, if you're being mocked, if people look at you like you're like a nobody within like a fandom, come here, enjoy yourself, have fun, and overall just spread positivity. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you for...
Of course!
Yeah, I would love to do it again sometime.
Yes.
I'm very interested in, collaborating with you a little bit more.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, like, overall, I love what you're doing. Keep telling the stories. I'm obviously going to tell the Miscats and all the subscribers to, like, go over to Trophy Unlocked and tell their stories. Because it's like, nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that, and we need more of this. This spreads positivity, and this is what this community drastically needs, is just positivity.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, because I'm trying to get people to, like, give me, their stories so I can talk about and share them. But, like, surprisingly, no one wants to do that. I feel like they're just going to get judged.
That's the thing. That it's like there's no judgment. Like that's what people don't realize. It's like if you have a story to tell, whether that's like with me, I'm very open about what I went through, like with my relatives and being abused and this and that. Like I'm very open about that, because you realize that there are people that are going to be judgy. There's going to be people who, like with me, like when I cry over certain things, it's like people are like, oh, why are you so emotional? What's wrong with you? It's like you just gotta ignore that, because you have to realize that the positive people are out there and they're gonna be there to support you.
Right.
So that's my way of saying, like, support Trophy Unlocked and submit your stories. Alright, but thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.